everybody, Janna Morishima. I'm a literary agent and also the founder of Kids Comics Unite. I was invited to the Center for Cartoon Studies Industry Day yesterday, and I participated on a panel along with Callista Brill, editorial director of First Second, and Zach Clemente, who is the president of the Boston Comic Arts Foundation and also the publisher at Bull Gilhan Press, which he said specializes in self-indulgent comics. It's amazing. You should check it out. And Whitney Leopard, who is the senior editor for Random House Graphic, along with me. And I am making this video because I wanted you to see a little bit about White River Junction, the town where the Center for Cartoon Studies is located, and also CCS itself. So here it is. So White River Junction is a small town in Vermont. I'm sure you can tell it's got that feeling of a 19th century railroad town, and the reason it has that feeling is because it is a 19th century railroad town. But as you can see, some of these old buildings are actually housing some really interesting comics action. This is the main building here. It's the old post office, and I'm just gonna walk right up to the front of it.
I think it was built like late 20s, early 30s, but it's got, granite, brick, marble. They just don't build buildings like this because it'd be too expensive. But it was also a nuclear fallout shelter. So whenever there's any plumbing repairs, it's terrifying. Like a simple leak means that you might have to dig through 6 inches of concrete. So we have 3 buildings that we operate out of. There's this one that we own. There's an old department store. I don't know if you heard or seen that, but that's called the Kolodny building, and it was kind of like the Vermont version of Macy's. So it was 3 floors, and you could buy formal wear, farm wear, underwear. And then now it's we operate it out of the ground floor and the basements, and then the upper levels. The Vermont State Housing Authority has housing available to lower income families. We rent that space, and then the 3rd building is another nuclear fallout shelter that's owned by a telecommunications firm that they let us use.
So I'm gonna cross the street here and show you one of the Center for Cartoon Studies buildings right next to this pizza place. What I wanted to say about the Center for Cartoon Studies is that it is an amazingly inspiring place. Imagine being in a small town where so much revolves around comics. The Center for Cartoon Studies has exhibit spaces, studios, offices, bulletin boards, and an amazing library, better than any other I have ever seen on comics. And if you wanted to be in an environment where you're completely immersed in comics making and surrounded by incredible artists and storytellers, you couldn't get any better, I think, than the Center for Cartoon Studies in Vermont.